Whoop whoop.
Hello, everyone. This is the Bridging Beliefs podcast, and today this is Nevaeh.
Yep.
And I'm Sam. Today we're going to be talking about mainly just kind of introducing ourselves, as this is a brand new podcast, and we don't really expect y'all to know us.
Huh?
Hello, everyone. This is the Bridging Beliefs podcast. My name is Sam. Your name is?
Nevaeh.
And today we're just going to be introducing ourselves to the podcast and honestly digging deeper into our faiths. If any of y'all know us, hi and welcome. And I hope y'all enjoy. I hope whatever we say or do in this podcast, I hope that you get something out of it today. And I hope you just come away from this with just a better belief in God, and maybe you'll have like maybe you'll come away with sources or something to further your faith in God, Christ Jesus. So how about we start off with the first one?
Oh, my question for you?
Yeah, you want to start? You want to start with a question for me?
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do any of your beliefs that you have, because I know you're very devout, do any of them contradict each other?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't really think so. Most of my beliefs, I stay true to. I try to keep myself mainly like motivated in faith, and also very like, what's the word for it? I try to keep myself very, very in the word, and also just like generally like when you say beliefs, like what do you mean? Does like how are they contradicting if they're my beliefs? Like what do you mean by that?
Well, like, because some people follow the Bible to a T, or some people believe that heaven and hell exist, right? But then some people also believe in like ghosts and stuff, and those kind of contradict each other.
Yeah.
Or like also you believe certain things about God, but then you also believe other things about God. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like sometimes beliefs contradict each other.
So I can understand where you're like saying that. Like some people, like there's certain people that I know, even who have like contradictory thoughts of like, yes, they believe in God, but they also believe this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And so I feel. Where's that coming from?
Are you still playing the music for them?
No. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. It's first time. We're trying.
We get some music in the background over here, apparently.
No, this just isn't like caught up. Hold on. Let me catch myself up.
This is going great. Can they hear the music?
So, I think now, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Did they not hear you that entire time?
No, it's just like I'm a little quiet. I'm gonna turn myself up.
Yeah, Sarah's a very quiet talker.
I'm a very quiet talker, so
yeah, I'm
y'all
like
gonna have to give me a second while I like kind of mess with my own levels and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the audio things right now. Mine is like very much lower than his because I talk very loudly, and he talks very quietly. I think you can kind of see our personalities from the way that we are sitting right now, even.
Yeah, there we go. And then
Testing. Sing one little songy song. Actually, no, I don't want to get copyrighted. Imagine our first podcast getting copywritten.
okay, so this should be a little bit louder than what we came across with. So okay, so back to what you were saying. Give me your question again, cause
okay. Do any of your beliefs contradict each other? Personally, mine kind of do.
So I actually want to dive more into your beliefs than mine right now. So let's kind of go through that rabbit hole. Actually, let's kind of let me see what you mean by contradictory.
So, I grew up. I wasn't. Okay, obviously, I feel like you grew up in a more Christian household.
Definitely, 100%.
I didn't really. My mom was just like, when she's older, she'll figure it out if she wants to believe or not. And for a time, I didn't because all my friends didn't. Because I had like that weird friend group I told you about.
Yeah.
And so I just followed the group. And then I like recently started going to the youth group with you.
So would you have like ever considered yourself atheist at any point in time? Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
I didn't believe.
I think what I would like to do is understand kind of where the thought process and not believing in God was.
It was more or less just like going back to the original question kind of because it kind of explains it. I believe in a lot of science stuff, and I also believe in God. But at the time, it was like God didn't create the earth. It's science, or like animals, evolution, like all this stuff. And it was just like I just didn't think there was a big a powerful being out there that controlled my life or like did things for me without realizing or granted miracles. It was just like it was more of like a science-based thing where we're
For
like
sure.
we're all humans, we all have brains, that's how everything works. That was my thought process during it.
For me, definitely, it was about. There were definitely times in my life where I felt like God didn't believe in me or I didn't believe in God, because there were times in my life where it just seemed like everything I tried to do to please God was going away. And I guess what I had to realize was that not everything you do is to um, you can't please God with things that you like physically do, like give
Yeah.
money, do like kinds of strengths, which those are good things. I have no
Yeah.
like those are like you should do that, like 100%. You
Unless
should do
they're a
that. If you
scammer that got their account hacked like
This
happened
guy.
to me last night.
this guy, but anyways, I think that's like it's a good thing to like do and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for sure,
Like
there was times where I probably did contradict myself
yeah.
on the daily, and I like even till this day, you've probably heard me say some pretty wild things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like I have said, like of course, you know, us as teenagers, we joke around, we say things,
Yeah.
and so I of course have said stuff that isn't exactly godlike.
But I feel like it's also about your intent.
Yeah, it could be,
Yeah.
but also you probably shouldn't be saying the things anyways.
Actually, our Bible study thing for next week is focusing on holiness and the 10 Commandments and how
Which y'all should 100% go to.
y'all should 100% go to the, if you're in youth, you should go
If
to
you
the
were
Bible
in Moss
study.
Bluff and you know about the UMC church, me and Nevaeh both we host Tuesdays and Wednesdays over there.
Yep.
If you're not sure about it or you don't know, text one of us. If you know us. If you don't know
in
us,
the description is our Instagrams.
yeah,
You can request to follow me and I'll accept it.
Yep. And you know, I think a lot with even like some of the things we talk about.
I'm sorry. There's also an email down there if you have any questions. Yep.
Anyways,
Sorry, I just forgot
she's
about that.
yapping right now, if you can't tell, y'all. Anyways, so there's actually like a lot of like
I just realized what you said. I thought you said napping, not yapping.
yapping. But anyways, so I think there's a lot to do with anyways, so we're gonna skip. We're gonna kind of go deeper,
Okay.
and I'm gonna ask you a very personal question, and I want
Alright.
to see what you think about it.
All right.
Where do you land in your walk with Jesus?
What do you mean?
So, right now, me personally, I'm in the realm of like I believe full-heartedly, strongly, and I believe that I should be doing this, and that. Maybe I don't do it on the daily basis like I should be, but my belief is very strong right now. So I guess I want to try and dig into a little bit of like where you stand currently with God.
Okay, so I very recently
Mm-hmm.
started diving in. Like, I've never picked up a Bible until recently. My mom like taught me all the Bible studies and all that stuff. Like, not Bible studies, all the Bible stories. But I haven't picked up a Bible recently. What are you doing? Oh, my bad. So it hasn't been until recently that I actually started. So it's not as like I don't think of every action or like almost every action. Like whenever I make a decision, I'm not like
Eddie Fontenot, I don't know who you. I don't exactly remember you or know you. But thank you for recognizing my hard work in audio. Anyways, back to
Wait, who?
what you were saying.
Oh, all right. I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so it's not as like I don't currently lead my days with what would Jesus think if I did that. Although I know I probably should. I probably should think about my actions and how they would affect my life religiously. And I thought you were turning me down more because I'm a loud talker.
You're good. No, you're good. Perfect. Go.
But it's more or less like I believe that he exists and I'm kind of learning about the things that he did and what kind of person he was. So it's more like a learning experience right now. I'm not very devout.
You're in the stage of learning, which is really good.
I'm learning.
It's actually a stage that I'm still currently going through, even though I do still have a very powerful faith. I think the fact is, for me, is while I was if you don't know me, I used to be Roman Catholic. Like that's what I used to go to. That's what church I used to go to, and that's where I was baptized. But I guess I don't really differ from anything they say. Just for context. For anyone that's Roman Catholic out there, nothing to y'all or nothing anything.
Yeah, every religion has different.
I'm in a different church now, and for me, the community of that church is what got me into believing Christ so much. But at the time, I was very I believed, but I was kind of lukewarm. I didn't read. Yeah. I didn't pray as often as I do, and I surely didn't have the kindness in people and just humanity that I do now.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't prayed outside of the church prayer that we do.
And that's okay, but we need to work on that,
Yeah.
Of course,
it's not like a thing. It's not. At least I'm trying.
Your spiritual walk will not be consistent for a while.
Yeah, and I definitely.
I think that's what a lot of people actually have that are bad kind of mindsets. Your spiritual walk will not be the same as the next person to you.
Yeah. Right?
Your spiritual walk will be maybe it'll be very drawn out, or maybe you'll believe strongly and you won't do this, or maybe you won't do that, right? It's kind of different. It's all different.
There's a reason there's so many different religions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I went through the same thing with you, where I went to a different church for a little bit, and it just wasn't the community just wasn't very, and then I started going to the UMC groups with you, and then that was very welcoming, and that's kind of whenever I kind of opened my eyes up instead of being so closed off.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, actually, I want to dive into that.
Okay.
Why did you want to come in? Why did you accept?
Okay. So I was going. Huh?
Why did you give me your true position on why you wanted to come?
I was completely heartbroken.
You're completely heartbroken.
Oh my god, I hope none of his friends are watching this. Anyways. I was it was right after Christmas break, right? It was a week or two into Christmas, after Christmas break, after the freeze and all that stuff. And it was the week before Mardi Gras break. That's what it was, because that was the first day I went. And it wasn't that. It was just I was going through a tough time. Especially after Christmas. My my mom's not watching. Anyways, especially after Christmas, I was just kind of sad.
I'll put this out there just real quick. Feel free to say whatever you can. And viewers, if you know her, if you're her mom, or if you're anybody who knows her, whatever she says in this podcast, please do not come at her for it or anything like that. This is simply a safe space to just talk about our beliefs and talk about where we are at with our faith. So just remember that as you go throughout this podcast, it's very open-minded and a very open space. So anyways, continue.
Also, it's kind of this is kind of just off topic. A lot of people don't realize I'm not very religious.
Yeah.
People can probably take one look at your socials or anything like that. Boom, they know you're obviously religious. In every single bio, every single caption you have, something about God. I'm kind of more closed off.
Yeah.
I don't have a Bible verse. I don't say anything about God. So I feel some of my friends actually, whenever I told them about this, they were like, "Wait, you believe in that? I thought you didn't." And I was like, "No, I am. You should watch the podcast."
Yeah. And I think that's actually something.
And you don't have to be religious to listen to this.
No, you don't have to be, but it's also a good way of getting into Christ, right?
Yeah.
But I think the way most people think about it is if you're not this person, or you're not this type, or see, this is why in the Bible it says, for God, it says explicitly, do not judge other people. do not judge, since judgment is only meant for the highest of gods, and judgment
There
is
was
also
that one thing where it was
for
like,
judgment is not the highest of gods. Sorry, that's meaning there's plural. There's not. There's one. That's what I believe. Anyways, keep going.
isn't there that one Bible study of whenever they were going to stone a woman, and then God came and said, if you have not sinned, that's the only way that you can stone this woman. And they all had to turn away because they were stoning her for sinning. But then he was like, you have no right to punish those who have sinned. That's only my job. Is that like a thing? Isn't that one of the stories? Am I wrong?
That is one of the stories. You are correct. But I don't believe you said the last part wrong. What was it you said?
It was, I don't know. That's just the gist of it. Like, these people were, like, going to stone this woman. You just unplugged your laptop.
I know.
Oh, wait. I'm going to finish answering the question.
Yep.
So, I was, like, just very sad. I recently got broke up with. A lot of my friends, like, I kind of... and then while I was, like, I realized that I really didn't hang out with my friends that much. I was really lonely. I'm an only child. I sit in my room all day. I needed something to do. And then I was texting Sam about it. He was texting me about some of his stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I kind of relate to that. And I was texting about other stuff, like, just all together. It wasn't, like, just that. And he was like, yeah, like, I've been, like, really focusing on God and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to be like you, actually. Because I was, like, thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, you should come to this little church thing. And I was like, you know what? I'll try. Because I had a little bit of fun at the last church I went to. But the last church I went to, I was kind of forced to go to.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as welcoming. And I was, like, really uncomfortable because I had to wear skirts and stuff.
I actually have a story about that. So you know the person. We met him a couple Wednesday. I met him a couple Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. He came. His story was actually that he went to a church and...
Wait, who?
You know who? Just think about it. Okay, we're just gonna call him Guy. I'm gonna tell you the story anyways.
Okay.
So you'll just know the story.
Okay.
So the story is that this dude, he went to church and he I don't believe he from what he told me and from what I've kind of gotten from it, I don't think he like didn't like the church. I think it was more of like the people inside of the church, right? There are places in the church nowadays that I feel they're so like contradictory in the fact that like they will hate on anyone who is not what they believe in. And in the Bible it says do not judge other people. So it like you can talk to them about it, but you can't in your mind be like, ew, I hate this guy because simply of what he believes, right?
Yeah.
And so and he got there was this one guy in his, so back to the story, there was this one guy who didn't exactly like him, and so I don't exactly know what altercation they got into, but he eventually stopped going. And I feel like for some people that's
a very common
story.
Yeah. The reason I stopped going to the last church was because my boyfriend at the time, you know this story, but they don't. My boyfriend at the time was like, I was like kind of thinking, it was like kind of the point in my life where I was like, I'm kind of open to religion, I'm kind of not. I was very lukewarm.
Yeah.
He was Pentecostal, right? I didn't know what that meant or anything. I was over at his house because like we were dating obviously, and he was like, and his grandpa was like very, very, very strict and very, very Pentecostal. And I was like trying to get his grandpa to like me because like obviously like I'm a teenager. I'm like, oh, it's gonna last so long. And spoiler alert, it didn't. But he was like, my grandpa would like you better, or like he was like, would you be willing to come to church with us? I think my grandpa would like you for that. I was like, yeah, like I'll think about it. I might be open to it. Like I didn't know anything about being Pentecostal. I just knew that's the church he went to. And he walked out of his room, went and talked to his grandpa, came back inside, and was like, you're coming to church with us Wednesday. And I was like, all right. And being the person I am, I started going every single Wednesday after that, because I hate confrontation. And I was like, I was probably going to end up going anyway. I was probably going to say yes anyway, but he kind of took that choice away from me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it at the time. But, and then, like, the people there were really nice. first day, I decided to wear some jeans and a sweatshirt, right?
Mhm.
Not knowing that, nothing against Pentecostals. They wear skirts. They don't cut their hair. They don't, they believe that they
Yeah.
shouldn't touch or ruin what God made,
Yeah.
right? That's their main belief. So I have my ears pierced. I'm wearing makeup, like a full face, like not a full face, but like pretty, like my eye makeup
Yeah,
that I always
that's-
wore last
yeah.
year. And I had earrings in my hair, and I was wearing skinny jeans, like they fully covered, but they were skinny jeans, and a sweatshirt. And he was like, "Yeah, that's completely fine. You can go." And I was like, "Oh, all right." Like I'm pretty modest. Like it would be a good like church fit, like going for UMC or like Baptist, right? Not a Pentecostal church. I go. Everyone's wearing long skirts. Doesn't like, and nothing against them. It's just like he like singled me out and like set me up. Not, I don't think he did it on purpose. He was just trying to be nice. But he could have been like, "Hey, they wear skirts there."
Yeah.
I would have been like, "All right, I'll wear a dress or something," you know?
I feel like he wasn't. I mean, I think you of course said it. He wasn't
And
trying to
now
set you up.
he actually doesn't believe in God anymore. Apparently,
Really?
Yeah.
So, do you know like what happened?
I don't know. He has a very not good home life.
Oh, I see.
So it's probably that. Probably
That's
just
okay.
relentless. Yeah, I
Well,
think
I'll definitely pray for him later.
Yeah.
I just hope.
it's probably just a little bit of a relent and like, what's it called?
So before I get to any more of the other questions that I have, did you ever at one point not like the church for a specific reason? Not because of that reason that you just told me, but maybe like a different reason that was maybe like a little bit more in depth, or maybe you just,
It was pretty fun. Like the youth would go upstairs on Wednesdays and they would play game. They would play a game and then they would sing a song and then they would give the sermon or whatever and then we would all pray. There was nothing really against that. I think it was just like the people in it. I didn't really know, and I was kind of thrown in.
So
deep
do
in.
you feel like if you had like friends in that church at the time, you maybe could have built a better community and probably believed a little bit more? Friends who were equally yoked in Christ.
I think it was just the fact that I wasn't comfortable whenever I went there because I had to wear like a skirt or like super modest clothing, and then also I sweat a lot, so
Yeah.
like I would have to wear like long skirts and then like stuff like this or like long sleeve shirts, and then I wasn't able to be myself because obviously I like weird earrings.
Yeah.
Like I have like little frog earrings, like all this
Yeah.
stuff.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just feel like some people take
Yeah. I just want to.
take their judgment that optimally us Christians. So I'm a bit like offset to this. I of course have judgmental thoughts. I'm not immune to like
Yeah.
thinking about people in a certain way. And so when I like meet someone for the first time, like I'm gonna tell this story. This was recently Friday, before school let out for the weekend.
I'm listening.
Okay. Huh?
I'm listening. Don't worry.
So my like I have Miss Gold my last hour, and so she lets me go to the bathroom whenever I need to.
Yeah.
And so I go to the bathroom, right? And I'm just, guys, okay, I know we're talking about going to the bathroom right now, but just hang with me, okay? When I went to the bathroom, there was this dude in there, and he seemed like his brain he was stressed. He was stressed out of his mind, and you could tell. Like there's some people that you can tell they're stressed, and there's some people that you can't.
I end up snapping at everyone when I'm stressed out.
He was very obvious, right? Yeah. And when he started speaking, my first judgmental thought, which I shouldn't have had, was, "Oh, he sounds a bit gay." Right? That was my first judgmental thought. I know that's funny, and that's funny to laugh at, but I should not have had that thought.
Yeah, you should. That's like kind of stereotypical, but I think it's. I'm sorry. It's not funny to be gay, guys. Sorry. I'm not judging, but I'm just. I didn't expect that to come out your mouth. That reminds me of like, this is kind of off topic. I'm just yapping at this point, but I had this sub in Miss Bourgeois' class.
Mm-hmm.
That old lady. Nothing against old people. But she was talking. She was like one of those mean subs, and she was just talking, and like she like talked for a solid like 10 minutes and was like, I worked at this place and this place and this place. And I was kind of at the point where I was like, can you please just give us our papers so we can work?
Yeah.
Like, it's been 10 minutes. And then she
And,
pauses for a second and she goes, my husband died 2 years ago. And I wasn't expecting that to come out of her mouth. So, like, everyone got caught off guard. And, like, and then we kind of giggled, like, awkwardly. It was like, I'm like, what? Why are you saying that? And then she got mad at us for laughing that her husband died.
Well, in all fairness, she did just kind of pop that out.
She did kind of, like, she was talking about.
It was like a more of a.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't have laughed at that, but.
Yeah.
Back to my story.
Sorry.
This dude, he was worried. I didn't know at the time what he was worried about until I started speaking to him, right? And he started telling me how his mom was, well, his mom was just, I don't know any other way to say it, but a registered psychopath. And I didn't know what to think about that, but all I knew is that this dude needed help. This guy needed someone to maybe just lighten up his mood, give him the boost day that he needed, right? And so I go up to him and I ask him, hey, are you religious at all? And he said yes. And so I go over to him and I'm like, mind you, we're in the bathroom stall. Anyone could walk in at this moment. We're not in a stall. We're just kind of out in the open, where the sinks are and whatnot. We're just kind of out in the open and we're just talking. And mind you, at this point, anyone could walk in. And so I just start praying for the dude. Like, I'm like, hey, give me your hands real quick. And I ask him, is it okay if I pray for you? And so he says yes, and I come over and, I do a prayer for him. And next thing I know, he has a smile on his face. He's like, thank you. And I think people don't understand how important it is to talk to people and just genuinely give them a human interaction that is good and kind.
Especially because, like, recently we haven't had many human interactions with the pandemic and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's been, like, a while since some people have, like, gone out to the real world. Especially, like, as, like, juniors this year. Like, it's so stressful.
Definitely.
Like, we have ACTs in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. Think about that.
I have to get, like, I'm striving for, like, a 33, 34.
Yeah.
I made a 20 on my pre-ACT.
So,
but
yeah, you probably got that.
I probably got that. But, like, it's still so stressful because, like, I'm trying to be, like, a nurse.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot.
And I feel like juniors at this point in time really do need God in their life.
Yeah.
Like, because in my life, the way things have kind of headed, if you don't know my background, I used to come from a less than favorable father, and my mom was very supportive and everything like that. My father wasn't exactly a bad father. Well, he was at times, but there were good times that I remember from him.
Yeah.
And my only gripe about him is that while we were with him, I felt like there was something missing.
Yeah.
I always had this hunger for something more, and I didn't realize what that was till 5, 3, 4 years later, and it was God. It was Jesus. It was what I was looking for the whole time. It was just, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And so now that I know of Jesus and I know who he is, I feel like my life has changed significantly in so many better ways. Like, I like someone again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We won't talk about it on the podcast, but y'all know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
No one knows who I like.
It's okay. They don't need to. That sounds so wrong.
It's gonna be so weird.
That sounds so wrong. But anyways, the point is like, there's so much that just happens in our lives that we just don't really come into terms like of what we're missing.
Like, if I like,
for you personally, do you have anything like that you felt was missing in your life? Like there was a hole. And do you think you're trying to fill it now? Do you think you're trying to fill it with God now?
Well, like I said earlier, I don't really know how to explain it. I was very lonely. And I think the church and, like, going to UMC and all that stuff has really opened me up to a wonderful community of people. And just everyone, like...
He's got it right here. So just going back to what we were talking about earlier, um, good old Eddie, he let us know, let who is without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was, yeah.
That's what I was on about.
Okay, anyways, keep going.
That's what I was yapping about earlier. Also, if any of you don't understand what yapping means, it means talking a lot. Yeah. It means rambling. There you go. That's a good synonym. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, it's nice to have a community of people who are together and believe in the same thing. And I think that's honestly what's like kind of filling that void is like I would go home, I would sit in my room and like just rot in my bed. Like I don't do any sports or anything like that, and I don't want to. I'm not an active person, but I think it honestly is kind of filling. Like I have something to do now. Like every week I have something to do, and it's honestly amazing. So, you okay?
Mhm.
So I spelled community wrong.
Sorry, I'm just listening to him.
Excuse me, guys.
Sorry, guys. I was just listening to the thing. Okay. I missed what you said, I'll be real.
It's alright. I basically said that it's nice to have a community of people that all believe in the same thing, and honestly, having that common ground with everyone, and it's like opening myself up to believing like the sort of things that you believe in, that like I'm opening myself up to learning about the Bible, learning about Jesus, believing in Jesus, and all of that stuff. So I think it is kind of, it's like fulfilling me. It's like giving me something to do, and it's making me feel like I actually have a purpose now. Like I had nothing to do. I love helping people. Like I know it's a very generic answer, but I really do like helping people. I love leading stuff. Like I feel like I'm a leader kind of personality.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever like around other people, whether I try to say I'm an introvert or not, I actually kind of am a little bit more extroverted. I'm like an ambivert. I'm kind of both, but it's good to have a community of people.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, let's go back to like the questions
Hold
we
on.
have.
Let me see how this sounds real quick. Just test.
All right.
I'm waiting for this to come back.
My beverage. I can't open this. One moment.
How am I sounding right now?
Look at me problem solving.
Audio input, capture 2. Am I the only one who thinks I sound bad? Y'all who are on stream, please tell me, do I sound bad on stream? Like, considerably worse than her?
Testing. I want to see what I sound like. I still think you sound good. Maybe it's just because you're like a male. And you have that grovel
I don't
to your
know.
voice.
I don't sound like what I'm hearing in my own headset, and that's bothering me.
I think you're fine. Personally, I think you're okay.
I don't know. I feel like it's only hearing your device. That's the problem.
Maybe it is because my mic is picking up like the entire room right now.
Really?
Maybe.
Turn yours off.
Testing.
Alright, Let me just speak out loud real quick. Yo, yo, yo. It's not super clear. Hmm? I sound like I'm in a fishbowl.
One moment, guys. I would sing you a little song, but there's this lovely little thing called copyright. So don't want to do that. And I'm also a terrible singer, so I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want that either. Oh my god, wait. I'm gonna look at. Huh?
Mute again? Let me see. Let me see how this sounds. Hold on. Let me see how this sounds. Yeah. I think it definitely sounds better through Capture 2. Sorry. Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to fix. Cause no, that's not the problem, Mom. I'm currently fixing problems. So let me just mute mixer audio just completely, and we're just gonna have these two run. Mom, can you check on your phone and see if you can hear me perfectly now? Turn on yours again.
I was about to tell some jokes because of
This guy.
Oh my god, that sounds different.
Sorry, y'all. We're currently trying to get everything together.
I'm gonna tell a joke. Why don't scientists trust atoms?
Oh my god, everyone's gonna leave, bro. Please no.
Because they make up everything. Oh, ha ha ha. I'm entertaining the crowd, Sam. You sound fine.
Sounds a lot better now. Much better now? Got you. All right, we're good.
Yippee!
See, it wasn't so anyways. Okay. So
What
do you
were
want
we
to go to another question?
Okay, I have a question. Or do you want to ask one of your questions?
I want to ask one of my questions.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's see. I think this is actually a pretty good one to start in the middle now that we're kind of like into things.
Everything's settled now. We're good.
So, do you struggle with giving God control in your life? Like,
Yeah.
yes. So, I'd like to understand like a little bit more about like why that is.
I kind of just have always gone through life without thinking. Well, obviously I think, but it's more like a personal thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't think about what God will think whenever I make a decision. I'm like, oh, let's do it. I'm gonna have fun, blah blah blah, and then I do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that was fun. Like, or I go hang out with my friends. Or I'm not really a type of person that does bad things though in general.
Yeah.
So I feel like even if I did, they wouldn't. Hmm? Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So like I definitely understand.
Hmm?
Can you actually tell me what you said again?
Okay, I said that I've always gone through life without thinking of, well, obviously I think of other people, but without being like, oh, what would God think? Or like, I haven't really given it any thought.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just kind of just go through life like I don't want to say normal person because it's not really normal, but I just go through life like a human being.
Like, you can sit it if you want to. You can sit right there. Whatever. Okay. As a normal person, you go through life just kind of normally. You kind of said.
I don't really think about anything else. I'm just like.
So normally for me, when I go through my day and whatnot, I usually have the thought of like, when I say something to someone, like just for food for thought or playing devil's advocate right now, when I go to somebody and let's just say I said, shut up or something like that, right? I feel like to me, when I say it, I don't say it and then I don't think and then say it. I say it and then I think about it later, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't have said that to that person. That's why most of the time when I mess up or whatever, I will mostly come back to you and be like, hey, I'm sorry I said that and whatnot. And so I believe that kind of ties into the like letting God control my life, because I feel like even devout Christian or some Christians out there, I'm not gonna say devout Christians because I'm not a super devout Christian, but I am definitely a Christian of like myself. So like definitely like I'm a Christian within myself, and so that I think of. And so when I ask myself like, is that what God would say or is that what God would do? I feel like a lot of that has to do with like letting God control your life and letting God guide your words through Him, right? And do things as He would do. So, like holding the door open for a girl, or like, holding the door open for anyone, or maybe doing that kind gesture for whoever, like picking up, I don't know, like let's say you have $1 left in your wallet, and somebody asked for something at the concession stand, right? That's $1. You'd be like, yeah, sure, I can go get that for you. Like, those are the type of things that I definitely don't fall short on, but I definitely don't do often as much as I would like to.
See, I just tend to lead life through like being kind to others, because you never know what they're going to do. I will admit sometimes I am kind of mean to people.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but it's just like I might be having a bad day, or like I might be stressed out. And if someone's just like, I'm not mean to just anyone. Someone has to like be constantly like pestering me or annoying me for me to like be mean to someone, like on purpose. Because sometimes I just go to school, I'm like exhausted and stressed out, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with anyone today.
Do you feel like any of that stress has anything to do with, not to get
I don't know, but what I do know is that my life, like a lot of good things have happened to me since I joined the church.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, I was able to buy a prom dress, which I was very, very, very stressed out about this year.
Hey, I mean,
I'm not very financially, I don't have a very financially stable home.
Yeah.
So I was very worried about that. I actually went today, bought my prom dress, my shoes, and all that stuff I needed.
So, just for those out there who don't exactly know what that's like, could you just give us a little into like what is that like, and how does being in that sort of environment, because me personally, I've always grew up, my mom, and you've never known my dad, but my dad's, well, he's good off, he's well off, and my mom is well off too, don't get her wrong,
y'all are middle class, we're poverty,
pretty much. I don't really know our tax bracket, but I'm not gonna really ask questions about it because she's right there. Hola, Mom. But yeah, the fact is like I don't really know what that's like. Yeah. Right. I've never lived that life. So
so I am adopted legally by my grandmother. From my dad's side. I know no one from my mom's side.
You live with your mom now, right?
I live with my grandmother.
Okay.
She's I call her mom, so whenever I say, because she raised me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So whenever I say
actually,
mom, that's
actually that didn't click for me. That's actually new. That didn't click.
I've been telling you that. I've told you that multiple times.
That didn't click for me.
Yeah, no, my birth mother is not in my life because, my mom / grandmother, was very open to me growing up. Like, I would ask a question, she would answer it directly. Like, she never hid the custody papers or anything like that. Like, I fill out my own medical paperwork and all that stuff. Like, really? She taught, I
haven't been taught that. Mom, you gotta step it up.
The only thing I know my social security number, all of that stuff.
I don't know my social security number either. That's something I think I have it saved in my phone, but
the only thing that I don't touch is insurance stuff because I don't understand that. I just literally go to my mom and I'm like, hey, would my insurance cover if I did this? And she's like, yeah, it would. So
let me think.
We're on Medicare. Medicaid. Oh wait, I should probably answer the question.
Yeah. What is it like? What is it like?
Sorry.
Give me a little bit more in depth.
Okay, so I grew up in a so I grew up in a gated community where it was like $500 a month or something like that,
Yeah.
or $500 a year to live in a gated community. I forgot what it was, and there was like a gate code, and I was really good friends with like some homeschooled people. And then my dad moved us, and that was in Lafayette, and then we were like kind of financially well off. The deal between my dad and my mom, they're the two that have custody over me, but my mom really has like full guardianship over me. The agreement was like he pays the bills and my mom takes care of me and pays for all the stuff I need. So, but she lives off of Social Security. So, or like I think it was like she pays the utility, he pays like everything else, and then she takes care of me.
And just for people who don't know me, I think we kind of mentioned it earlier, but I lived in a house, and I didn't really have to deal with
Well, that was
worrying.
the house that we owned. My dad owned that house.
Yeah, obviously. But throughout my entire life, I've never had to worry about when the next meal would be on my table. What would it be like? Would I ever have to use food stamps, right? Would I have to do this or that and whatnot?
Well, I never really have to worry about food on the table. My mom makes sure that,
yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to make sure of.
Yeah,
and then my dad moved us to Pearland, where he was getting pretty good money. Like, he paid all that stuff. And then we moved to Victoria.
But I bet there were some times where you probably had to think about it.
Yeah, my mom would be like, oh, I can't afford that right now. I'll be like, okay. Like, I completely understand.
Yeah.
But right now is probably, like, we have food stamps, and we have 2 benefit cards. And I think we only have one. I don't know. I think one got cut off.
Yeah.
But that pays for our, like, feminine products, our paper towels, detergent, her coffee. It pays for, like, health. No, because there's 2. They pay for different things. Or maybe that one does pay for, like, healthy, what it deems healthy snacks. It won't pay for the chewy granola bars, but it'll pay for Gushers.
What?
So, yes. That's so crazy to me.
Wild.
I just wanted chewy granola bars, but I have to get the expensive, like, Sunbelt kind if I'm buying with that card, which I think is kind of dumb. Anyways, so it's not really like, so we're living off of food stamps and those benefit cards. And then we have like $1,200 in rent, and my dad's not paying that. Apparently he will be soon. But are you ever stressed about that? Really? Yeah, like there's been times where my mom has packed up the entire house thinking we have to move because we won't be able to pay rent the next month.
So are you all in a constant state of having stuff packed?
Yeah, no, we don't have a living room. We don't have couches.
Okay.
Everything in my room, all my furniture in my room, I got for myself. Like, I had like an old desk that my mom got me from like an estate sale, and then my bed was on the floor.
Yeah. And
then I had like stuff that was like passed down from family. And then I worked a tomato job, and then my dad sends me money for like birthdays and holidays. But this year he didn't until like recently. He kind of made up for everything. That's how I got my prom dress. But apparently he has a job now. But it's just like one of those things where it's like I've kind of been forced to, not forced because like I understand numbers. I'm not like complaining, to like adult, to have to think about, I really want to get this, like, or be like $20 is expensive for me. Like $20, I don't like spending money. Sometimes I'll do it, like if it's like a necessity, or if it's like, you know what, I'm gonna need it in the future, I'm gonna just get it now. But I don't like spending money where I don't have to. Yeah. Unless I have cash. I do have a little bit of a spending problem.
Would you I was just wondering, there's a lot of talk about favoritism. Like, do you think, I just want to ask you this question. There's some people out there that believe that there are favoritisms by God. And I just want to ask you a question about that. Do you believe that is in any shape or form real, knowing from where you come from? Do you believe in that or no? I don't, but
not
just
really.
was no.
I feel like it's very said in the Bible that God created us and that he loves us all equally.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Some people have to go through those struggles to be the people that they become.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, there are things I need to work on, but I'm very well educated.
Yes.
I understand what it's like to I understand how to save money. Like, I have my own bank account.
Yeah.
I can see that money going out. I know what it's like to save money. Also, some good things that have happened is, like, I recently got a job interview after I've been applying for, like, over a year.
I know. And just for reference, do you feel like that was definitely God work right there? Do you feel like God was moving?
Yeah, because I've applied to that job 3 times.
So, and you've never got an interview?
No.
You just got an interview?
Yep. I had it last week.
How did you feel about it?
I was, like, very, like, surprised. And I was, like, very happy. And then my dad came through and paid for my prom dress and all that stuff. And then, obviously, all this good stuff. Nothing bad's happened to me. You know,
Yeah.
like, all the drama in my life during school kind of went away. All the stuff that, like, not just, like, I wasn't really going through drama that much. But it was, like, all my friends kind of were. And
For
then they
sure.
would talk to me about it. And it was just, like, so exhausting.
Definitely.
That kind of all.
I definitely understand what you're talking about. Because sometimes, no offense to people who tell me drama, it's okay for me to hear it.
Yeah.
And
because I'm definitely a therapist.
and that's
friend.
good. And I'm all ears. But just sometimes you just want to break.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like God puts it in us to be able to be there for people, but he also puts it in us to, like, know that, you know, this can't be all that we listen to.
Yeah.
We can't just continue helping people by constantly learning about other people's struggles. Sometimes we have to pull ourselves away from that, because in the Bible, I recently read this verse. It's whoever. It basically goes like this: whoever is angered quickly is sin. That is a sin, and you should get away from
like
that.
wrath. Wrath.
Yeah, kind of like
Deadly sins. I'm reading a book series.
whoever gets sin, and that's a sin, and you should, you know, distance yourself from those type of people.
Yeah.
And I feel like definitely, sometimes I feel that, like, I definitely sometimes get angry quickly.
I don't really get.
But I feel like it's more of a build up for me.
Yeah. No, I don't really get angry. Like,
Yeah.
it takes I don't think anyone has ever truly seen me mad.
Yeah.
Maybe once.
So,
but
from that, just knowing that, is there, like, any certain community that you can go to, where you can kind of talk about God and also talk about, like, what's happening in your life?
outside of church?
Yeah.
No.
No, not really.
I don't really know other people that, like, I don't really talk. Like I said, I'm, like, kind of a private person when it comes to my beliefs and stuff. And it's like I'm not the type of person that, like, sparks conversations about God.
Yeah.
You definitely are.
Definitely, for sure.
I'm more of a private person. It's like, if they want to talk about it, they can. We can, but
whoever's watching, if y'all could let me know in the chat, audio still sounds good. If y'all would let me know. Good. All right.
Also, if y'all have any questions for me or
yeah, definitely, if you have any questions for either of us, please write it down in the chat. Because we would love to answer those.
That's Sam.
as we
I'm
continue.
Nevaeh. You can attempt to spell my name. It's okay. I'm not gonna get offended.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's heaven spelled backwards.
So, I'd actually like to get into some questions that you have for me, because I think I've been asking you a lot.
So I have a question that I think is, like, a really big talking point with Christianity and just with beliefs in general. Is, like, I think we actually have very differing did you click something? I think we actually have very differing beliefs when it comes to this. What do you think happens, like, whenever people die and go into the afterlife?
I believe that's heavy.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna actually, before I answer that, personally, I'm gonna bring up a point that our good friend Lucas
Oh, really?
gave to us. Yeah. He said that in the Bible it says there is such thing as purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
That if you make it to purgatory, you will eventually go to heaven, but you have to wait.
You have to earn it.
You have to earn it in some way. I forgot what he said exactly. I think people who know more about purgatory, and this is where I'm going to get into my own personal belief. I do not believe in purgatory.
Was it a personal belief or was that a Catholic belief? Because I know he's Catholic.
I think that was a Catholic belief. Yeah. I'd like to say that was a Catholic belief, but I could be wrong.
That was a genuine question. I'm not, like, judging. I was just like...
I could be wrong.
If any of y'all know, please tell us.
Yeah, please tell us.
Because I know my personal beliefs don't go.
It's been a while since I've been in the Catholic Church, so I don't know much. But purgatory isn't something that I personally believe in. I believe in there's only two ways, heaven and hell.
Yep.
Now, defining on what they are is very different from person to person.
Yeah.
Especially hell.
Yeah.
A lot of people have different thoughts about it.
Yeah. I know that some people think you suffer for eternity.
Yeah, some people think you'll suffer for eternity, and some people like Lucas, he believes that it's not exactly suffering for eternity, but it's a separation from God. So, I don't know exactly what he means by that, whether you're not with him, whether you're just separated.
I remember I'm sorry, I just cut you off, but I remember there's something in the Bible I read whenever I was researching for the Bible study to be able to find other verses and stuff. There's like one unforgivable sin, and that's not being with God. I think that's what it is. I can Google it.
Yeah, that's the sin you get judged on, I believe, in heaven. Am I right about that, Mom?
No, because it's the one unforgivable sin.
The one unforgivable sin,
not being with God.
Not being with God.
Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit.
Blasphemy against
also
the Holy
known
Spirit.
as sin unto death.
Isn't that the sin you get judged?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that's...
Yeah, but in the Bible it says, like, the one unforgivable one is blasphemy of God. And... because it's in Matthew.
Yes.
Matthew and Mark. Yeah.
By the way, what she's saying is each one of the books says that explicitly, and she's been reading.
Yeah. Because I feel like if you don't believe in God, then what's the point of you wanting to go to heaven to be with him? Anyways, if you don't believe in him.
So
then that would
we need to stop conversing with her because she's not on the thing. She's not hooked up.
Sorry.
But I was just trying to get your opinion for that one thing. But it's okay. Thank you. I feel like
maybe you'll be our next special guest.
I feel like there's so many different ways to think about hell and heaven.
Yeah.
I feel like heaven's very... I feel like it's very, very different, right? I've heard wild things from, like, there's different levels of heaven to there's just one heaven, and if you're not in that one heaven, then you're...
Yeah. See,
you know where else you are.
My beliefs on this are kind of...
What is your belief?
That's kind of what I mean whenever my beliefs contradict themselves. I believe in heaven and hell, right? I believe that, I don't know. Explain it. Like,
it's a Catholic belief, by the way.
If you are, thank you for letting us know that. I don't want to say if you're a bad person, but if you're a sinful person and you don't seek forgiveness, then you're gonna be stuck there for your eternal life, right? But also, this is kind of where it contradicts. I don't want to say I believe in ghosts, but I believe that sometimes people's souls aren't ready to move on.
Yeah.
Like, they aren't ready to go to heaven or hell. So that's the...
So, would you say...
some people, like, stay behind... Like, some, like, good and bad people aren't ready to move on. That's where we get the, like, if you watch paranormal channels, where we get, like, those...
Do you believe in
succubus
that?
Or those devils.
Do you believe in that? Just wondering.
That's what I'm saying. That, yeah.
So you do believe in that?
I believe that some people aren't ready to pass on, and that's what you get whenever, like, people are looking over you, or, like, being like your family members. Instead of going to heaven, there's something like...
By the way, try not to mention anything about what you said about those different types of demons, because that's demonology, and we're not trying to converse that on
Okay,
here.
I was like quoting like in
Yeah,
quotations.
it's
like
okay,
what
it's
I'm
okay.
saying, like the
Anyways,
main beliefs
just
is like.
Keep going. Just saying we're trying to stray away from that.
Okay, sorry. But like ghosts, how there's like bad ghosts and good ghosts.
Yeah.
Quote unquote ghosts. I don't really call them ghosts. I feel like they're more like not ready to move on, souls or spirits, if you will. But like let's say a grandparent were to die, right? And let's say they were a good grandparent and they're gonna end up going to heaven, but like instead of moving on to heaven, they aren't ready to move on, and then instead, it's not like they want to, but like instead they look after their grandchildren, or they look after you and they follow you, and they help keep you safe from things that like there was a personal story that my grandma or my mom told me happened when I was little, that apparently when I was very, very young, there was these glass shelves and they had glass on them, like they put their glass cups and their glass not silverware, what's it called?
Not
Cups,
glass
glasses.
no. Glasses, silverware, plates, bowls.
Yeah, like plates, but there's a word for that.
Oh, I don't know. Just call it plates and bowls.
Yeah, plates, bowls, cups, stuff like that. And I learned how to climb counters.
Oh.
So I climbed the counter and I pulled down on it because I slipped and tried to catch myself, and all of the glass fell. And I had like sat down and like covered my head, and apparently there was like almost a perfect circle of glass surrounding me. Not a single scratch on me.
Question: do you believe that was through God?
Read this.
Let me see.
Do you want me to read it out loud to them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me see.
Something I have on my Facebook.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it out loud to them?
Can I
Or do you?
I want to see it before she said.
It's kind of
Okay, yeah, you can read it. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Miss Marla just handed me something. It says the Bible refers to the spirits of the dead as familiar spirits, as impersonal or well acquainted. The Bible warns us to have nothing to do with them. There is no such thing as dead persons walking the earth or returning to the place where they died. The Bible tells us in Job. Okay, I thought so, and I was like, I second guessed myself. I was like, I know that I'm saying that wrong. 7:9. As the cloud disappears and vanishes away, so he goes down to the grave, and he does not come up again. He shall never return to his house, nor his place see him anymore. This is showing us that the dead cannot return to the houses the once lived in while here on earth. Houses are never haunted by the deceased, but by demons. The Bible makes it clear there are spirit beings who can connect with our physical realm. These spirits are fallen angels that once served the God of the Bible. Now they serve the God of this world, Satan. These demons are experts at deception, for they masquerade as angels of light and servants of righteousness. 2 Corinthians 11:14-15. These demons have the power to transform themselves into the deceased, and by doing so make us believe that it is all right to contact the dead and go against what God has said. This lie has drawn many people away from God and into the kingdom of darkness, albeit they are unaware of what is happening.
I see. So, in a way, you were correct, but you were correct about them being lost souls.
Yeah.
They're just demons.
Yeah. They're just not.
So, do you feel, when that glass shattered, do you feel like that was by God? Like,
I feel like it was,
do you feel like God saved you from having a scratch on you? Do you feel like...
Miss Marla, have your phone.
I mean, there's certain things that are just...
I feel like it was... Okay, no, I didn't actually mute myself. I feel like it was like one of those miracle moments.
Yeah. Definitely.
I definitely should have gotten hurt. Yeah.
So, if you were to go back in time, right, and tell the person that you were a couple years back, what would you say to them? Like, what would you say to try and further their belief in God? If back to when you believed in science and you were an atheist.
Well, first of all, I would be like, please stop talking to all these people you're talking to. They are not good people. Because they honestly weren't. I didn't know at the time, but they were they honestly are like really not good.
Would you
I don't talk to any of them anymore. But I would have been like, you need to be more open-minded, and instead of closed-minded, and maybe you should actually open a Bible and read the first couple stories. Like, you don't even have to read that many. I was like, you know how to you love to read. Like, I've actually read like 14 books just this year.
I mean, I would know. I've seen it.
I read another one.
I've seen the count list.
I read another one yesterday.
So 15?
Yeah, 15. Dang. I read like another single book yesterday. It was like 400 something pages. And yeah, just like, I was like, you should probably just read one or two stories. Like, a lot of things, I don't know what her name is. The one that we're doing the Bible study with, like, she was talking about it that first Wednesday about how, like with the Big Bang, quote unquote, that it started with a big bang of light. And then if you look at what God said, it started with light, right? Or like the orders in which scientists say stuff happened. Also, like, also, like, they kind of go alongside with each other. Like, I would have been like, just open it up and read just a little bit. Just read it. It's not that long to you, Nevaeh. It's going to take like maybe a week. Yeah. Yeah.
So, while I'm trying to look for this, would you want to ask me any more questions that you have?
Those are like okay, hold on. Okay.
For those of you who don't know, I have a Bible with me.
I forgot mine at home. Are there like, okay, obviously I'm going to say that I'm not like a very one religion person. Like, I'm not Baptist or Catholic or all this stuff. I just believe. I just have a, what's it called? A relationship with
God.
With God. And I believe in relationships with God. Like, it is, I feel like, I don't want to sound like rude when I say this, but I'm not. I feel like religions are just like rules in a way. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they aren't like, different religions are like the ways that you want to live your life based on what religion you are. And I'm more of like a relationship with God person. So
when I tell you in chapter 3, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 8, this will bring health to your, sorry, that's the wrong one. Sam,
you're spiking.
To chapter 7, when it says, in chapter 7, it says, do not be wise in your own eyes, fear the Lord and shun evil. What does that mean to you?
Wait, sorry, can you repeat it?
Do not be wise in your own eyes, fear the Lord and shun the evil.
So, fear the Lord.
And do not be wise in your own eyes.
Do not be wise in your eyes.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think that means to you?
Well, the first thing I thought of was whenever I was researching Abraham for Bible study.
Really?
How part of it was like he had seen what God could do, and he feared what could happen to him if he didn't listen to him and sacrifice his son.
So do you feel like when believing in the Lord has a lot to do with fearing the Lord?
Yeah.
Because I'm a devout Christian.
Because
I'm a pretty good Christian myself, and I believe that if we fear the Lord, it's better to fear the Lord than to be comfortable with him.
Yeah, because if you don't believe, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but if you believe in him and if you want to have respect, you don't have respect for those who you can have respect for like someone, but you don't have true respect. Like you're not going to follow the rules. You're not going to like straight away listen to someone. Like, let's say that wasn't your mom and you had a very strict mom. Yeah. Right? Like extremely strict, like one of those like mean parents, you know? Sure. Like you're scared of them, you're gonna do exactly what they say, so you're not in trouble if you're a good kid, right? Yeah. More like a chillaxed mom who like lets her kid do whatever she wants. Their mom's like, clean your room. They're like, talk back and they're like, yeah, whatever. You know, I feel like it shouldn't be like 100% fear, but I feel like having fear definitely allows you to still like keep yourself in check with following him and what he says to you.
Because for me, on a personal level, I'm so scared of death. Like, oh my God. When I start to think about it, I go down this rabbit hole of like, geez. Like, if I'm being honest with myself, imagine if I didn't believe in God. Like, that's kind of scary.
I'm not.
Like, there's no heaven, there's no hell. Like,
I'm not scared of death. I've seen a lot of death surrounding me because I'm an only child and I was raised by around a lot of adults. And so a lot of those adults have passed away recently. And like, you guys don't know me, but a lot of my family, are like addicts. So there's been like, I don't know, this past year, like, 2022 and 2023, there have been a lot of drug overdose deaths. Or, like, people dying, like, young, like, 50s because of, like, things that had from their past.
Do you feel like that's, like, kind of wizened up your belief on death?
I feel like I'm not scared of death. I know that it's going to happen to all of us. I'm scared of holding myself back on something that I want to accomplish because I'm scared. There are so many things in the past that I wanted to do, like, I wanted to join volleyball, but I was scared. And I deeply regret that now because, or like I was scared to let's say I was scared to join a club, or like I was scared to like go say hi to that person, you know, and I ended, like I have this best friend, my best friend Kiwi. We've been friends for like 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, like we had our first hour together, and then we also had like gym together. It was my 7th grade year. And I was like scared to like say hi to her and stuff because she was like super nice and I was very introverted. And we became really good friends over like COVID, like online. She was like the one person I could talk to online. Now we're best friends. And I don't want to hold myself back just because I'm scared. I'm definitely like might as well just do it, you know? Like what could be worse? Like I could either not do it and regret it, or I could do it, be very, very happy, and it'd be like one of the best things that ever happened to me. Or I could do it, realize it's not for me, maybe have a couple bad experiences, but I'll learn from them. There's a reason there's a reason I need to go through that, to learn something, to like learn a lesson. And yeah, there's a reason things happen. Yeah. So, you didn't hear what I said?
No, I was listening.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think. What was my question to you?
You were talking about how you were afraid of death.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm not really afraid of death. I kind of come to terms with the fact that it's going to happen. I just want to live my life to the fullest extent that I can and do things that I want to do and not hold myself back because I'm scared or because I'm nervous.
Are you sure everything's going good, sound wise? Because
I think everything's fine, Sam.
Uh-huh.
I think everything's fine.
I know, but mine sounds so terrible. And
maybe it's because you moved the mic closer to yourself.
It sounds terrible.
I'm very blind. Okay, do I have to pull out the jokes?
Yeah, probably.
All right. This joke, while the technical difficulties are going. As you can see, I am definitely the personality hire.
See, does that help?
I'm definitely a personality hire type person. Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't say that
we
one.
only have 3 viewers right now. Whoever's watching right now, can you please let me know if the audio right now that you're hearing from me sounds like it's good or not? Sounds like her type quality whenever I'm listening.
And during you typing that, I'm going to tell a lovely little joke during this intervention. How do you organize a space party? You plan it. We need a laugh track. Ha 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 ha. I think you sound fine.
I'll figure that out for the next one. I'm just going to continue because I can't worry about this the whole time. How's coming to Bible study? How's
It's really
it?
fun.
Really?
I like the difference between I like this Bible study is really fun because I actually get to lead it and I get to research beforehand. I'm definitely like an annotation type person. I like to study things. I like to Google what does this mean and then be able to see like I know what it means and then I get to see different
Do you feel like coming to Bible studies bring you closer to God?
it allows me to, because I'm running it instead of just going, it allows me to be able to research the different things like further and be able to hear different point of views.
All right, I'm gonna have to look because mine doesn't sound like I want it to. But
I think you
let's figure
sound
it
fine.
out.
I think it's kind of like one of those things where like I think I look terrible in a picture and then everyone else thinks I look fine.
No, it's the way it's. It's okay. Just don't worry about it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why the heck? No.
Yeah, back
I'm
with your
trying to
mouth
get
and
the
talk
bass
louder.
in it, and so.
Maybe it's because I'm a much louder talker.
No, it's not. It doesn't sound exactly how I'm supposed to sound, and it's confusing.
Do you want to switch mics?
Timestamps. No.
Yeah. Do you want to see if it's you or the mic?
I just don't know what's going on. And we started 6:10, 6:10, 6:20. It's been a good like maybe 90 minutes. Yeah.
I think around like an hour and 15 minutes is how it's been. Yeah, I think sitting here dealing with the audio the entire time is just we can figure it out for the next one. It's our first episode. Everyone's able to understand you. I'm not trying to be like mean and like
Yeah, no. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's good for closing here?
I do actually.
Let's
Actually, no, that's a kind of heavy topic, not a good closing topic.
let's actually get it then, because we still have good time.
How do you? Because obviously, some religions like go to confession. How do you deal with asking for forgiveness for a sin that you've committed? Like you do a sin and you ask for forgiveness.
So that's actually something I talked about with a couple of people in my class, and they said in particular that that what we that in the Bible it says that Lucas actually told me in the Bible that it primarily says that you should go like to a preacher and get and do confession that way. But it also says with the new rules that you can in the New Testament, New Testament, you can ask God for forgiveness, right?
I feel like there's
direct.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a little. Yeah, I feel like it's better for direct because this is like I'm not really like judging, but like if you've committed a sin and God is the only one who can forgive sins, that was like established in the Bible, like Jesus or like God is the only one that can forgive sins, right? Then why is someone going to a priest to forgive their sins rather than talking with God himself? A priest could probably be present, but why are they going into the confession box talking to a priest rather than God himself?
Was that a question you had?
I feel like that's kind of like a rhetorical question, but also it's like,
I feel like
why is it set up that way? Was the original
well, in
their
Acts, in the original church, that's how things were done.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
That's and so I think people still have the main thought of, well, since this is clearly God's primary way, that you should do it this way indefinitely.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I feel like either one is just as powerful as the other. I feel like some people get the thought that one is not just as powerful as the other, and so people get this thought that are like, hey, you should mainly do it with the priest, right? And I have nothing against that way of doing it.
Yeah.
There's no problem with it, but it's just for me and my beliefs. Ever since I came to the Baptist church, where I found my community, I feel like telling God about things directly has immensely helped my life more than I found it with telling a preacher.
So I actually have a question for you. Mm-hmm. So do you consider yourself Baptist, or do you I don't
consider myself Baptist.
Okay. Well, I was still kind of want to ask my question. Do you go to Baptist church because of the community? Like, do you go for the people, and then also you get to worship God there, and it's just like so happened to line up with your Christianity, or do you consider yourself to follow what baptism believes? Because I go to UMC for the community, and I just believe in a relationship with God.
I definitely think I believe the same thing. I am just a Christian.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I put it. I'm just a Christian.
You remember when I asked you whenever I didn't know anything, I was like, what's the difference between a Christian and a Catholic?
Oh, yeah. That's
no, I honestly didn't know at that
so
point.
Much confusion about.
Yeah.
Catholics are Christians, Methodists are Christians.
Yeah. Anyone who believes in
and etc. are Christians, right?
I didn't know that at the time. I know that now, obviously. I felt like all I had to do was be like, oh, Christians are people who believe in Christ. I was like, oh, because I would hear people being like, oh, I'm Christian, oh, I'm Catholic, oh, I'm this, and I'm like, what's the difference? Or then my mom would be like, oh, Christians believe in this, Catholics believe in that. I'm like, okay, so Christians is its own religion? Yeah. Yeah.
But I would definitely put it in the realm of I believe in God.
Yeah.
Like, I faithfully, strongly believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I think that's all people need to know.
Yeah.
People don't need to know what church I go to.
Yeah.
It's not about a label. And I don't think Jesus ever really meant it to be all about the label, right? Yeah. He wanted people to believe.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so endearing about the things I do. I have so much love for people. Mm-hmm. So much love.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I kind of lead my life with being kind to people.
Yeah.
I open doors for people. I recently
made a post a couple days back or a couple weeks back where I explicitly told people, I made this promise to people. I will do whatever it takes to help you and do whatever it takes to make you happy in the name of Christ. My belief, I just want to go on a bit of a rant about this, but my love for people is so much more than it used to be without God. Like,
and I can even attest to that, because we were friends last year, and that was kind of whenever you got that Bible, whenever you started bringing that Bible to school.
Yeah.
And I kind of noticed between then and now how much more kindness you hold, like even for me or like everyone like you surround yourself with, because obviously I go to UMC with you Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we're gonna be doing this whenever I don't have work, if I get that job. Hopefully I do.
Yeah, for real. If you're watching Snow Goat, please get her on the job now.
Yeah.
She believes in God.
Yeah, incredible.
Anyways, keep going.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you sound muffled. Maybe that's not why you sound weird on your phone. Yeah.
Let me do.
That's why I asked, like, sorry. That's why I asked, like, whenever you had that other thing up, if you actually turned it off or if you just closed the app. Because, like, you know how you close an app but a call will still run?
Yeah.
Maybe it did that whenever you were pressing random buttons. Maybe that's what it did.
So back to what I was saying, like, my faith has grown so, like, immensely, like I like someone now, right? And the amount of love I'm able to hold for friends and people who I like is simply astronomical. Like, I would do anything for my friends. Maybe not, like, commit a sin, but I would do freaking anything. Like, if someone called me in the middle of the night and said, like I'm having massive troubles right now going somewhere. Sorry, Mom, you have to hear this, but I'm getting in my truck and I'm going, even if it's the middle of the night.
Sorry, I muted my mic. What if
If I get in trouble for it, I get in trouble for it, but I want to help a friend.
Yeah.
I want to help people.
Yeah. I definitely try my best to help as many people as I can. I'm very grateful for people who are like that. So you're saying that if I call you in the middle of the night, I'm like, I'm hungry, I want Raising Cane's?
No. It's got to be, like, serious. Dear Lord, thank you for letting us have this beautiful platform that we have, and just thank you for letting us come here today and just talk about you, dear Lord. And I just hope whoever's out there, whoever's listening, just truly either hopefully got something out of this while we have technical difficulties, and I just hope that everything is going to be okay in everybody's lives. And I just hope that you're working with people, you're working through people, and you're doing everything in God's name and you, dear Lord, to just make people happier, have a better life. And so, in the name we pray, amen. Okay, so are you still on, Mom? Because we're gonna, this will be a little bit of extended. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, because I have nothing
I'm gonna have to
do
end this.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna uninstall the stuff that I had on here. I'm gonna uninstall that. And it's